Captain June sat alone on the bridge of the United Earth Alliance vessel Remembrance. The ship hummed quietly around him. Most ships had many crew members, but not the Remembrance. This ship ran mostly on its own, with smart computers doing the work of many people. June looked out at the stars. He had been in space for 3 years now. His mission was simple: explore the far reaches of space and find new life. So far, he had found nothing but empty planets and dead rocks. Today was different. "Captain," said the ship's computer voice, "I detect a large object moving toward us." June sat up straight. "Show me." A screen lit up showing a massive ship. It was unlike anything June had ever seen. It looked like flowing water made of metal, with no sharp edges or straight lines. "Is it sending any messages?" June asked. "Yes, Captain. They are trying to speak with us." June took a deep breath. This was it. First contact with alien life. Everything he had trained for. "Open a channel," he said. The screen changed to show 2 beings. They looked almost human, but not quite. Their skin was pale blue. Their eyes were large and completely black. They had no hair. They wore simple white clothes that seemed to glow slightly. "Greetings," June said. "I am Captain June of the United Earth Alliance vessel Remembrance." The 2 beings looked at each other. Then one spoke. Its voice was musical, like someone singing rather than talking. "We are the Sori. I am Ta. This is Hana." Ta pointed to the other being. "We welcome you to our space." June was surprised. "You speak our language?" Hana nodded. "We learned it from your radio signals. We have been watching Earth for many years." "We have never met beings from another world," Ta said. "You are the first." June smiled. "You are the first for us too." The Sori did not smile back. They just watched him with their large black eyes. "Your face changed shape," Hana said. "Why?" June realized they did not understand smiling. "It's called a smile. It means I am happy or friendly." "Interesting," Ta said, writing something on a clear tablet. "Your emotions show on your face." June noticed the Sori faces never changed. They always looked calm and serious. "Would you like to meet in person?" Hana asked. "We can dock our ships together." June thought for a moment. This was a big decision, but he was here to make contact with new life. "Yes," he said. "I would like that." 2 hours later, June stood by the airlock. He wore no space suit. The ship computers had checked the air from the Sori ship. It was safe to breathe. The door opened with a hiss. Ta and Hana stood on the other side. They were taller than they had looked on the screen, almost 7 feet tall. "Welcome aboard the Remembrance," June said. Ta and Hana stepped forward. They moved with strange grace, almost like they were floating. "You are smaller than we expected," Ta said. "You are alone on this ship," Hana noted, looking around. "Where is your crew?" "I am the only human," June explained. "The ship's AI runs everything else." "You trust machines that much?" Ta asked. "Yes. They are very reliable." The Sori walked around the room, touching things with long, 6-fingered hands. "Your body is leaking," Hana said suddenly. June touched his face. He was sweating from nervousness. "That's sweat," he explained. "It helps cool my body when I am hot or nervous." "You are nervous of us?" Ta asked. "A little," June admitted. "This is a big moment for humanity." "A big moment," Hana repeated. "Yes, for us as well." "We would like to learn more about humans," Ta said. "You are very different from us." "And I want to learn about the Sori," June replied. "That's why I'm here. To learn about new life among the stars." As they talked, June noticed something odd. The Sori never blinked. Their black eyes stayed open all the time. They also stood very still. They only moved when they needed to. The first meeting lasted 3 hours. The Sori asked mmany questions about Earth, humans, and how June's body worked. They seemed most interested in his emotions. "We will meet again tomorrow," Ta said as they prepared to leave. "We have much to discuss." "I look forward to it," Jum said, smiling again. As the Sori left, Jum sat down in his chair. His heart was racing. After years of searching empty space, he had finally found what he was looking for. He had no idea how this new friendship would change everything. For him, for humanity, and especially for the Sori. Over the next week, Jum met with Tai and Hannah every day. They talked for hours about Earth and Soria, the home planet of the Sori. June learned that the Sori had been traveling in space for over 1,000 years. They had very advanced technology, but had never met other intelligent life before. "Your ship moves through space using fire and explosions," Ta said one day. "Our ships bend space itself. This is why we can travel so fast." Jun was amazed. "Could you share this technology with humans?" "Perhaps," Hannah replied. "But first, we must know more about you and your kind." The Sori seemed most interested in human emotions. They watched videos of people laughing, crying, and getting angry. They asked Jun many questions about how it felt to be sad or happy. "Do all these feelings not make life hard?" Tai asked. "Sometimes," Jun admitted, "but they also make life worth living." The Sori looked at each other. Their black eyes seemed to share some silent message. "We have discussed this with our leaders," Hannah said. "We would like to invite you to visit Soria." Jun's heart beat faster. This was a huge opportunity. No human had ever visited an alien world before. "I would be honored," he said. "When can we go?" "We can leave tomorrow," Ta said. "The journey will take 3 days with our ships." That night, Jun could not sleep. He sent a message back to Earth about the invitation. It would take 2 weeks for his message to reach home, and 2 more for an answer to come back. He would have to decide on his own. The next morning, Jun packed a small bag with personal items. He made sure the ship's AI could run everything while he was gone. Then he joined the Sori on their ship. The inside of the Sori ship was beautiful. The walls looked like flowing water, changing colors slowly. There were no sharp corners anywhere. Everything was smooth and curved. "This is amazing," Jun said, touching a wall that seemed to pulse with light. "Our ships are grown, not built," Hannah explained. "They are partly alive." The trip to Soria went quickly. Jun spent most of the time learning about Sori history and culture. They showed him images of their cities and told him about their science. "We have eliminated most diseases," Ta said. "Our people live for about 300 of your Earth years." 300 years. Jun was shocked. Humans only lived for about 100 years with the best medicine. "Yes," Hannah nodded. "We have changed our bodies over time to live longer and healthier lives." On the 3rd day, they arrived at Soria. From space, the planet looked like a blue and green jewel, not unlike Earth. But as they got closer, Jun could see the differences. The oceans were a deeper blue, almost purple. The land was covered in strange plants that looked like crystal. The Sori ship landed in a large city. Buildings rose up like giant trees, with branches spreading out at the top. Everything seemed to glow with soft light. "Welcome to Kor, our capital city," Ta said. A group of Sori waited for them. One stepped forward. This Sori was taller than the others and wore a silver robe. "This is Su, one of our elders," Hannah explained. Su looked at Jun with those same unblinking black eyes. "Welcome, human. You are the first visitor from another world to walk on our planet." "Thank you for having me," Jun replied. As they walked through the city, Jun saw thousands of Sori going about their day. They all moved with the same fluid grace. None of them showed any emotion on their faces. They all stopped to watch Jun pass by. "Our people are curious about you," Ta said. "Many have asked to meet you. I'm happy to meet them," Jun said. Su led them to a tall building in the center of the city. "This will be your home while you are here," the elder said. "Tomorrow, We will show you our world. That night, June stood on a balcony looking out over the alien city. Everything was so different, yet somehow familiar. The story had art, music, and science, just like humans, but something felt missing. As he looked across the vast city with its millions of inhabitants, June realized what was strange. In all his talks with the Sori, in all the images they had shown him of their world, he had never seen anything like a cemetery or memorial. There were no places to remember those who had died. I wonder how they honor their dead, he whispered to himself. Little did he know, this simple question would change everything. The next morning, Tai and Hannah came to take June on a tour of their world. They showed him parks with strange crystal trees, schools where young Sori learned, and markets where people traded goods. Now we will show you something special, Ta said. Our most advanced research facility. They took June to a large building shaped like a spiral. Inside, hundreds of Sori worked at stations with floating screens and strange equipment. This is where we create our best technology, Hannah explained. Many great discoveries happen here. A Sori in a blue outfit approached them. This is Jin, Ta said, one of our best scientists. Jin nodded at June. I have been studying humans for many years. I am glad to finally meet one. Jin showed June around the lab. They stopped at a station where Jin was working on a small device. This will help us understand how emotions affect the body, Jin explained. Your visit has made us very interested in emotions. As Jin was showing how the device worked, something went wrong. The machine began to spark and smoke. Jin tried to fix it, but suddenly there was a bright flash. The explosion knocked June to the floor. When June sat up, he saw Jin lying on the ground. The scientist wasn't moving. A dark blue liquid, Sori blood, pooled under Jin's body. Jin needs help, June shouted, crawling toward the fallen scientist. But before June could reach Jin, two other Sori in white outfits rushed over. They didn't try to help Jin. Instead, they placed a small device on Jin's chest. The device lit up, and Jin's body began to dissolve into light. In seconds, there was nothing left but a small pile of dust, which one of the Sori swept into a container. June watched in horror. What are you doing? Why didn't you try to save Jin? The Sori looked confused. Save. Jin's biological functions have stopped. Jin no longer exists. June looked around the room. The other Sori had already returned to their work. It was as if nothing had happened. No one seemed sad or upset about Jin's death. But Jin just died, June said, his voice shaking. Doesn't that matter to you? Ta helped June to his feet. Jin's body stopped working. We removed it so it would not contaminate the area. This is normal. Normal. June could not believe what he was hearing. Someone just died. Don't you feel anything? Hannah and Ta exchanged looks. Feel what? Hannah asked. Jin is no longer here. The body was just a container. Now it is gone. But don't you miss Jin? Aren't you sad? June asked. Miss. Sad. Ta repeated the words like they were in a foreign language. Jin contributed much useful data to our research. Another Sori will continue the work. June felt sick. He had just watched someone die, and no one cared. There was no mourning, no ceremony, not even a moment of silence. Just nothing. I want to go back to my room, June said quietly. On the way back, June was silent. The Sori didn't understand why he was upset. To them, death was just a malfunction, like a broken machine. In his room, June sat for a long time, thinking. Now he understood why there were no cemeteries, no memorials. The Sori didn't mourn their dead because they didn't see death as something sad. They just erased all traces that the person had ever existed. That night, June could not sleep. He kept seeing Jin's body disappearing into light. It seemed so cold, so empty. On Earth, when someone died, people gathered to remember them. They told stories, they cried together, they honored the life that was lost. They don't know what they're missing, Jun whispered to himself. They don't know how to say goodbye. The next morning, Jun asked to speak with Tai and Hannah. He had made a decision. If the Sori could teach him about their advanced technology, maybe he could teach them something too. Something humans had learned over thousands of years of dealing with loss. He could teach them how to mourn their dead. The next morning, Tai and Hannah came to Jun's room. They found him sitting quietly, looking at pictures from Earth on his small computer. Are you still functioning correctly? Tai asked. You left the research center very suddenly yesterday. Jun looked up. I'm okay. But I need to ask you something important. Of course, Hannah said. I want to tell you about how humans deal with death, Jun said. Would you listen? The two Sori looked at each other. This is about Jin's body stopping its functions, Hannah asked. Yes, Jun said. On Earth, we call it death, and it's very important to us. We are scientists, Ta said. We are always interested in learning new things. Tell us. Jun took a deep breath. Can I show other Sori too? Maybe the elders and anyone else who wants to learn. By that afternoon, Jun stood in a large room in the center of Kor. About 50 Sori had gathered, including Elder Su and several other important Sori. They sat in rows, their black eyes fixed on Jun. Thank you for coming, Jun began. Yesterday, I saw something that shocked me. I saw how you treat your dead. It's very different from how humans do it. Jun touched a button on his computer. A picture appeared on the wall behind him. It showed people dressed in black, standing around a grave. When a human dies, we don't just get rid of the body, Jun explained. We have special ceremonies called funerals. Family and friends gather to say goodbye. He showed more pictures. People crying, flowers on graves, candles burning in memory of lost loved ones. This seems inefficient, one Sori said. Why keep a body that no longer works? It's not about efficiency, Jun replied. It's about honoring the person who died, about remembering them. The Sori watched silently as Jun explained different funeral customs from Earth. He told them about burial and cremation. He explained how some cultures celebrate death with music and dancing, while others mourn quietly. But why do humans put so much time and energy into this? Elder Su asked. The person is gone. They cannot see or hear your ceremonies. The ceremonies aren't really for the dead, Jun said. They're for the living. They help us process our grief. Grief? Hannah asked. What is this? Jun thought for a moment. How could he explain grief to beings who had never felt it? Grief is a feeling we get when we lose someone we care about, he said. It hurts here. He pointed to his chest. We feel sad, empty. Sometimes we cry or can't sleep. It can last for days, months, or even years. This sounds terrible, Ta said. Why would you want to feel this? We don't want to feel it, Jun said. But it happens because we love each other. When someone we love dies, grief is the price we pay for having cared about them. He showed them pictures of memorials and cemeteries. He explained how humans visit graves, leave flowers, and talk to those who have died. Some of us believe in an afterlife, where people go after death, Jun continued. Others don't, but all humans remember those who die. We tell stories about them. We keep their pictures. We make sure they are not forgotten. The Sori listened without speaking. Their faces showed no emotion, but Jun could tell they were thinking hard about his words. What happened to Jin yesterday, Jun said, would never happen on Earth. We would stop everything. We would gather together. We would share memories of Jin. We would support each other in our sadness. Elder Su stood up. This is very strange to us, Jun. We have not done anything like this for many thousands of years. Would you like to try? Jun asked. I could show you how to honor Jin's memory. The room was quiet for a long time. Finally, Hannah spoke. I worked with Jin for 82 years, she said. Yesterday, when Jin's body stopped working, I continued my research. but I found myself thinking about projects we had worked on together. Is this similar to your grief? June nodded, a small hope growing inside him. Yes, that's the beginning of grief. You were remembering Jin. Then perhaps, Elder Sue said slowly, we should learn more about this human custom. 2 days after June's talk with the Sori, a message arrived from Earth. As he read it in his room, June's hands began to shake. His father had died in his sleep. The funeral would be in 1 week, but June was too far away to attend. He sat down heavily on his bed. Tears filled his eyes and ran down his face. His father had been old, but the news still hit June hard. He had hoped to see his father again when he returned to Earth. There was a soft knock at his door. Hannah entered, then stopped when she saw June's face. Your eyes are leaking fluid, she said. Is this part of grief? June nodded, wiping his tears. Yes, we call it crying. I just got news that my father has died. Your creator? Hannah asked. Yes, my father helped create me, June said. But he was much more than that. He raised me, taught me, loved me. Hannah sat down across from June. What will you do now? I can't go back for his funeral, June said. But I still need to say goodbye in my own way. June decided to hold a small memorial service on his ship. He invited Tai and Hannah to watch. To his surprise, Elder Sue and 5 other Sori asked to join as well. That evening, they gathered in the main room of June's ship. June had set up a small table with a candle and a picture of his father. The Sori watched silently as June lit the candle. This is my father, Minho, June said, pointing to the picture. He was a teacher. He loved books and music. He taught me to be curious about the universe. June's voice broke as he spoke. Fresh tears came to his eyes. I remember when I was 10 years old, he took me camping. We looked at the stars, and he told me that someday humans would visit other worlds. He would be so amazed to know I'm here now, meeting you. The Sori watched as June placed a small item next to the picture, a wooden flute. This was his. He played music on it. June picked it up and played a few notes. The soft, sad tune filled the room. I brought it with me to remember him by. For the next hour, June shared stories about his father. He laughed sometimes, even through his tears. He played more music. The Sori listened without speaking. Finally, June said, I'll miss you, Dad. I love you. He blew out the candle. The room was quiet for a long moment. Then Elder Sue spoke. Thank you for showing us this ceremony, June. It was educational. The Sori began to leave, but Hannah stayed behind. You are in pain, she said to June. Yet you chose to share these memories. Why? Sharing memories helps ease the pain, June explained. When we talk about those we've lost, it keeps a part of them alive in us. Hannah was quiet for a moment. Then she said something that surprised June. We once did something similar. The Sori? June asked. You had funerals. Not exactly, Hannah said. But I have studied our oldest records. Thousands of years ago, before we changed ourselves, we had ceremonies when someone died. We kept objects to remember them. We gathered to speak of them. What happened? June asked. Why did you stop? Our leaders decided that grief was inefficient. Hannah explained. It caused pain. It took time away from work and progress, so we changed our bodies and minds. We removed the parts of ourselves that felt grief. June was shocked. You engineered grief out of yourselves. Yes, Hannah said. It was considered an advancement, but watching you tonight, I wonder if we lost something important. She touched the wooden flute gently. This simple object holds meaning because it connects you to your father. We have nothing like this. June looked at Hannah with new understanding. Do you wish you could feel grief? I don't know, Hannah said honestly, but I wish I could understand it better. As Hannah left, June sat alone with his father's picture. He had come to the Sori world to learn about their advanced civilization. Now he realized they might need to learn something from him. something they had forgotten long ago: how to mourn their dead. The day after June's memorial service for his father, Hannah asked to meet him in the city's central library. The building was huge, with walls made of the same glowing material as the other buildings. Inside, countless screens and crystals held the knowledge of the Sori civilization. "I want to show you something," Hannah said. She led June to a small room deep in the library. The door closed behind them, and Hannah placed her hand on a panel on the wall. "This section is usually only for our historians," she explained, "but I have permission from Elder Sue to show you." A large screen appeared on the wall. Hannah touched it, and images began to appear. They showed Sori from long ago. These ancient Sori looked different. Their faces moved more. Their eyes showed feelings. "These are from before we changed ourselves," Hannah said. "Over 5,000 years ago." June watched in amazement. The old recordings showed Sori laughing, crying, and hugging each other. They looked much more like humans in how they acted. "And this," Hannah said, "is what I really wanted you to see." The screen now showed a group of ancient Sori standing around a body. The body was covered in bright blue flowers. The Sori were touching their hands to their chests, a sign of respect or sadness, June guessed. Some had water coming from their eyes, just like human tears. "They're crying," June said softly. "They're mourning their dead." "Yes," Hannah nodded. This was called the farewell ceremony. When a Sori died, family and friends would gather. They would place the body in a garden where it would help new plants grow. They would share memories and play music. "It's very similar to human funerals," June said. "It is," Hannah agreed. But then this happened. The screen changed again. It now showed a group of Sori scientists in a laboratory. They were working on something that looked like a map of Sori DNA. "About 4,000 years ago, our leaders decided that emotions like grief were holding our society back," Hannah explained. "They said these feelings caused too much pain and took too much time away from work and progress." "So they changed your DNA?" June asked. "Yes. Over many generations, they removed the parts of our brains and bodies that create strong emotions. They changed how we think and feel." June tried to imagine what it would be like if humans decided to remove grief from their lives. Would it be better, or would something important be lost? "Do all Sori know about this?" he asked. "No," Hannah said. "Most think we have always been this way. Only historians and some scientists know the truth." "Why are you showing me this?" Hannah was quiet for a moment before answering. "Because watching your memorial service made me curious. I wanted to understand why we stopped mourning our dead. And now that I know, I'm not sure it was the right choice." "What do you mean?" "When you spoke about your father, you felt pain. But you also felt something else. Something that seemed valuable." "Love," June said. "I felt love for my father. And that doesn't go away when someone dies." "Exactly," Hannah said. "We Sori still care for each other. We work together. We help each other. But when one of us dies, that connection is just cut off. There is no way to honor it or remember it." "And you think that's a loss?" June asked. "I think it might be," Hannah said. "Your way of death includes pain, but it also includes something we don't have. A way to value the connections that existed." June thought about this. The Sori had given up grief, but they had also given up the rituals and practices that helped humans process death and remember those they had lost. "Have you talked to others about this?" he asked. "Yes," Hannah said. "Some agree with me. Others think it's dangerous to consider going back to old ways. Elder Sue thinks we should learn more before making any decisions." "And what about Ta?" "Ta thinks we made the right choice thousands of years ago," Hannah said. "That feeling grief would make us weaker, not stronger." June realized that his simple questions about how the Sori treated their dead had started something much bigger. He had shown them a different way, a human way of dealing with death. And now the Sori were beginning to question their own choices from thousands of years ago. In the days after Hana showed June the historical records, news spread quickly among the Sori. Many were curious about the human way of dealing with death. Others were worried about these new ideas. June walked into a large meeting hall where Sori had gathered to discuss what they had learned. Elder Su stood at the center, trying to keep order as Sori spoke over each other, something June had never seen before. "We should learn more about this human custom," one Sori said. "Perhaps we were wrong to remove grief from our lives." "Wrong," another Sori replied loudly. This was Da, one of the oldest Sori elders. "We made ourselves better. We removed pain and suffering. Why would we want to go back?" The room was split. Some Sori stood with Hana, who believed they had lost something important. Others stood with Da, who thought the old ways were primitive and inefficient. "June," Elder Su called, "will you speak to us? Tell us more about how humans view death." All eyes turned to June. He had not expected to be at the center of such an important debate. He took a deep breath and stepped forward. "In human history, every culture has found ways to honor their dead," June began. "We build memorials. We gather to remember. We tell stories about those who are gone." "But why?" Dai asked. "Once someone is dead, they cannot hear your stories or see your memorials." "It's not just for them," June explained. "It's for us too. When we lose someone we love, it hurts deeply. These rituals help us heal." "So it is about managing pain," Dai said. "We solved this problem by removing the pain itself." "But you also removed the connection," June said. "When my father died, I felt terrible grief. But I also felt how much I loved him. The pain and the love are connected." The room was quiet as the Sori thought about June's words. "I've been studying human brain patterns," Hana said. "Our scans of June show that the same parts of the brain that feel grief also feel love, joy, and connection. They can't be separated." "Exactly," June said. "If you remove grief, you might also lose some of your ability to feel deeply connected to each other." Day shook his head. "This is dangerous thinking. Our society has advanced because we make logical decisions, not emotional ones. Bringing back grief would make us weak." The debate continued for hours. June watched as the Sori became more and more divided. Some were curious and open to new ideas. Others were afraid of changing their way of life. By the end of the meeting, two clear groups had formed. Hana led those who wanted to learn more about mourning. Dad led those who thought it was a step backward. As they left the hall, Tai approached June. Until now, Ta had been quiet during these discussions. "You have started something big," Ta said. "Our society has not been divided like this for thousands of years." "I didn't mean to cause trouble," June said. "I just wanted to understand why you didn't mourn your dead." "I know," Ta nodded, "but now I must make a choice. I have been thinking about what you said about Jin. About how on earth we would have stopped everything to remember Jin's life." "And what have you decided?" June asked. "I am not sure yet," Tai admitted, "but I will continue watching and learning." That night, June sat alone in his room, thinking. He had come to this world to learn about an advanced alien civilization. Now he found himself teaching them about one of humanity's oldest practices. He looked at the picture of his father. The grief was still fresh, but it was changing. The sharp pain was becoming something softer, a gentle sadness mixed with warm memories. "This is what they're missing, Dad," he whispered. "The chance to say goodbye properly. The chance to let grief change into something else." The next day, Hana came to June's room with news. "Elder Sun is dying," she said. "Sun has been a leader for over 200 years. Many Sori respect Sun greatly." "I'm sorry to hear that," June said. "Sun has asked for you," Hana continued, "and for something else too. Sun wants a memorial service, like the one you held for your father." Elder Sun died quietly during the night. According to Sori tradition, the body would have been disintegrated immediately, But Sun had left clear instructions. There was to be a memorial service in the human way. This had never happened before in Sori history. Many Sori, especially those who followed Da, were upset by this idea. But Sun had been one of their most respected leaders. The final wishes of such an important elder could not be ignored. Jun worked with Hana to plan the memorial. They had only one day to prepare. "We need a special place to hold the ceremony," Jun said. "Somewhere beautiful that meant something to Sun." Hana thought for a moment. Sun loved the Crystal Gardens. Sun went there often to think. The Crystal Gardens was a large park in the center of the city. Tall plants that looked like glass grew there, catching the light and breaking it into rainbow colors. "That's perfect," Jun said. "Now we need to decide how to honor Sun's life. What did Sun care about? What should people remember?" "Sun was a great scientist," Hana said. "Sun discovered how to grow our living buildings. Sun also loved music and created many new instruments." "Good," Jun nodded. "We'll talk about these things at the memorial. We'll also need some kind of symbol or object to represent Sun." "Sun always carried this," Hana said, showing Jun a small crystal tool. It was the first instrument Sun created, over 100 years ago. The next morning, thousands of Sori gathered in the Crystal Gardens. Some came because they were curious. Others came because they respected Sun. And some, like Da, came because they were worried about what might happen. In the center of the garden, they had placed Sun's body on a bed of glowing blue plants. Unlike Jin, Sun's body had not been disintegrated. Instead, it was covered with a shimmering cloth. Jun stood before the gathered Sori. Next to him were Hana, Elder Su, and several of Sun's closest colleagues. "We are here today to remember Elder Sun," Jun began. "On Earth, we believe that a person lives on in our memories and in the impact they had on the world." The Sori listened silently. This was so different from their usual way of treating death. "Elder Sun lived for 322 years, Jun continued. "In that time, Sun made many discoveries that changed your world for the better. But Sun was more than just a scientist. Sun was a teacher, a creator, and a friend to many of you." One by one, Sori who had known Sun came forward to speak. At first, they were stiff and formal, just stating facts about Sun's work. But as the memorial went on, something began to change. "Sun taught me how to think in new ways," one Sori scientist said. "When I made mistakes, Sun did not criticize me. Sun showed me how to learn from failure." When I was new to the council, Elder Su said, "Sun was patient with me. Sun helped me become a better leader." Even Ta stepped forward. "Sun created music that I still listen to today. When I hear it, I think of Sun's wisdom." Jun was amazed. These Sori were not just listing Sun's achievements. They were sharing personal memories. They were talking about how Sun had touched their lives. After everyone had spoken, Hana placed Sun's crystal instrument on a small stand next to the body. "This will be kept in our library," she announced, "so that future generations will know of Sun's work and life." Then, in a move that surprised everyone, Hana touched her hand to her chest, the same gesture of respect that Jun had seen in the ancient Sori recordings. One by one, other Sori began to copy the gesture. Even Ta did it. Only Dai and his followers remained still, watching with disapproval. As the ceremony ended, the Sori agreed that Sun's body would be returned to the soil in a special part of the garden. New crystal plants would grow there, nourished by Sun's body, a practice from their distant past, now renewed. As the Sori left the garden, many approached Jun to ask questions about human mourning customs. They seemed deeply interested, even moved by what they had experienced. "I did not expect to feel different after this ceremony," one Sori told Jun. "But I do. I am still thinking about Sun, about the things Sun did, about how Sun is still important even though Sun is gone." Jun smiled gently. That's exactly what remembering is for. 3 weeks after Elder Sun's memorial, Jun prepared to return to Earth. His ship was ready. The databanks were full of information about Sori technology and culture. His mission had been more successful than anyone could have imagined. But the biggest change had not been to human knowledge. It had been to Sori society itself. On his last day, June walked through the city with Hana and Ta. The city looked different now. In many places, small markers had appeared with names and dates. Some had objects placed near them, tools, instruments, or artwork made by those who had died. "Your people have been busy," June said, pointing to a new memorial in a small park. "Yes," Hana nodded. "Many Sori now want to remember those who came before. Not everyone agrees with this change, but more join us each day." They stopped at a large building near the center of the city. It had not been there when June arrived. "This is new," June said. "It is the Hall of Remembrance," Tai explained. "Come inside." Inside the building, the walls were covered with names and images. Sori walked slowly through the hall, stopping to look at different displays. "We have started recording the names and achievements of all Sori," Hana said. "Not just the famous ones, but everyone. Their work, their discoveries, their music, all of it will be remembered here. And not just their work," Tai added, "also who they were as people, what made them unique." June was amazed. Just weeks ago, the Sori had simply erased all traces of those who died. Now they were building memorials and keeping records. "Do you feel grief yet?" June asked. "Not like you do," Hana said. "Our bodies are still designed not to feel the pain of loss, but we have found that remembering those who are gone helps us understand our own lives better." "And what about Da and his followers?" June asked. "They still believe the old way is better," Ta said, "but they allow us our new practices as long as no one is forced to participate." They left the hall and walked to a special part of the Crystal Gardens. Here, a new monument stood. It was made of the same crystal as the plants, but shaped by Sori hands. On it were words in both Sori and human languages. "To remember is to exist beyond death." "This is beautiful," Jun said, touching the smooth crystal. "There is something else I want to show you," Hana said. She led June to a research facility. Inside, Sori scientists worked at various stations. Hana pointed to a screen showing Sori DNA. "We have started a new project," she explained. "We are studying how to bring back our ability to mourn. Not exactly as it was before. The pain was indeed too great, but in a new way. A way that allows us to feel connection to those we have lost without being overwhelmed by sadness." "How long will this take?" June asked. "Many generations," Hana said. "Perhaps hundreds of years. But we believe it is worth doing." On the day of June's departure, hundreds of Sori gathered to say goodbye. Many brought small gifts, artwork, data crystals, and scientific tools. Elder Su stepped forward. "June of Earth, you came here to learn about our technology, but you have given us something far more valuable. You have shown us a part of ourselves that we have forgotten." "I didn't do much," June said modestly. "I just showed you how humans do things." "Sometimes," Hana said, "we need an outsider to help us see ourselves clearly." As June prepared to board his ship, Tai approached him one last time. "I want to give you this," Ta said, handing June a small crystal. "It contains the music Elder Sun created. When you listen to it, you will remember your time with us." June was touched. "Thank you. I will never forget you or your people." As the ship lifted off, June looked down at the city. He could see the Crystal Gardens, the Hall of Remembrance, and the thousands of Sori watching his departure. He had come to this world hoping to learn advanced technology. Instead, he had helped an ancient civilization rediscover something they had lost: the importance of remembering those who came before. The human had taught them how to mourn their dead, and in doing so, he had helped them become more complete. As his ship set course for Earth, June knew that both their worlds would never be the same again.